The sterile white walls of the Genesis Medical Station hummed with the quiet efficiency of advanced technology. Dr. Leora Vance stood before the observation window, her breath fogging the reinforced glass as she watched the impossible unfold before her eyes. The human infant, designated Aaron Saul in the medical records, lay in the bio-cradle, swaddled in temperature-regulated fabrics. But it wasn't the child's small fists or the steady rise and fall of his chest that held Leora transfixed. It was his eyes. They were open. Fully open, when human newborns should barely focus on shadows and light, and they glowed with an inner fire, vertical slits of molten gold cutting through irises that shifted between crimson and amber, like embers in a dying hearth that refused to extinguish. Dragon eyes. Leora had spent 15 years studying xenogenetics across 47 species. She had cataloged the bioluminescent organs of the Kelhari, mapped the triple helix DNA of the Vormix, even witnessed the spontaneous cellular regeneration of the Thalrin. But this defied every principle of genetic inheritance she understood. The Draconis primordial had been extinct for 3 million years. Dr. Vance. The voice crackled through her communicator, pulling her from her reverie. The Galactic Council has convened an emergency session. Your presence is required immediately. Leora's stomach tightened. The Council never convened this quickly. Not for a birth, not for anything short of a galactic threat. The Council chamber was a cathedral of chrome and starlight, suspended in the void between 12 solar systems. Representatives from the 7 founding species sat in their designated alcoves, their forms ranging from the crystalline architects to the gaseous whisperkin, who existed as sentient clouds of ionized particles. But today, even the eldest among them, the Vorlash ambassador, whose species had witnessed the birth and death of stars, looked unsettled. Dr. Vance, the council speaker began, its translation matrix rendering its chittering language into perfect standard. You have examined the human infant. Confirm your findings. Leora stepped forward, her hand steady despite the weight of 1,000 eyes, some literal, some metaphorical, upon her. The child possesses genetic markers consistent with Draconis primordial heritage. The ocular structure, the neural pathways, even the mitochondrial signature, all match the archived DNA samples from the Draconis homeworld. A ripple of disturbance moved through the chamber. The crystalline architect representative chimed like shattering glass. Impossible. The dragons were sterilized. Their genetic legacy was sealed in the forbidden archives. No species has accessed those vaults in eons. Yet here we are, Leora replied quietly. The child exists. The Vorlash ambassador leaned forward, its 6 eyes narrowing. You understand what this means, human. The Draconis were not merely extinct, they were eliminated. They grew too powerful, too unpredictable. Their eyes could see through dimensions, perceive time as a navigable river. They threatened the fabric of reality itself. And now, the speaker continued, those eyes have opened in a human child. The silence that followed was suffocating. Finally, the architect spoke, its voice like wind chimes in a storm. Humanity is a Category 2 species, barely 3 centuries into interstellar travel. They possess rudimentary genetic engineering, no psionic capabilities, and the unfortunate tendency toward self-destruction. How could they possibly— They didn't engineer this, Leora interrupted, her voice sharp. We don't have the capability. No one does. This is a spontaneous genetic expression, an evolution. Or a resurrection, the Vorlash whispered. Another heavy silence descended upon the chamber. The speaker's translator hummed as it processed its next words carefully. The council must vote. The child represents an existential variable. We have 3 options: quarantine the infant indefinitely, terminate the genetic anomaly, or recognize that the universe is trying to tell you something. The new voice cut through the chamber like a blade. Leora turned to see Ambassador Thane, humanity's representative to the council, stepping forward from his alcove. He was older than her, gray-haired and weathered, but his eyes burned with defiant fire. For 3 million years, Thane said, his voice carrying across the vast chamber, you've feared the dragons. You've built your civilizations on the ashes of theirs, convinced that power must always be controlled, always be limited. But humanity has a different philosophy. The architect's chimes took on a discordant note. Your philosophy is chaos. Our philosophy, Thane countered, is potential. We don't fear evolution, we embrace it. We don't eliminate what we don't understand. We learn from it. That infant down there isn't a threat. He's a gift. A reminder that the universe is still capable of surprise, of wonder. Wonder can destroy galaxies, the Vorlash said coldly. So can fear, Thane shot back. You sterilized an entire species because you were afraid of what they might become. And look where it got you, 3 million years of stagnation. No new species reaching Category 5. No breakthroughs in dimensional physics. No progress, just maintenance. Leora watched the council members shift uneasily. Thane was right, and they knew it. The speaker's translator crackled with what might have been a sigh. What do you propose, Ambassador? Let the child live, Thane said simply. Let him grow. Let humanity guide him, teach him. We've raised children with far stranger gifts, and if he truly carries the legacy of the dragons, then perhaps he's exactly what this galaxy needs. Not a weapon, not a threat, but a bridge to what we've lost. The vote, when it came, was closer than anyone expected. 4-3 in favor of life. Dr. Leora Vance returned to the Genesis medical station as the first rays of the station's artificial dawn filtered through the observation windows. Arensol slept peacefully in his biocradle, his dragon eyes closed for the first time since birth. But even through his eyelids, Leora could see the faint golden glow. She placed her hand against the glass, feeling the warmth radiating from within. Welcome to the universe, little one, she whispered. Try not to burn it down. Behind her, across the vast emptiness of space, the Galactic Council had issued its decree. Complete silence regarding the child's existence. No records, no announcements, no questions, but Leora knew better. Secrets like this didn't stay buried. The dragons had returned, and this time they wore a human face.